Hey friends, welcome to another DIY design. This week focusing on a more mounded, traditional sort of centerpiece style with lots of hydrangeas, lots of texture, lots of layering to create a lush, overflowing centerpiece. It's perfect for a centerpiece or also for a coffee table, for a gift. We will go through all of these beautiful flowers that we have in here, and we will show you how we put this arrangement together using the hydrangea to form a natural grid for us so that all the other flowers can pop on top and make a really beautiful canvas for the rest of these flowers to sit on while not completely obscuring it, so that it does remain a nice full part of the centerpiece that we are creating. So if you're designing along from home or if you're just here for inspiration, let's get ready to go. Hey friends, welcome to our semi-weekly design inspiration DIY bucket. And we have some really lovely spring flowers in very soft colors, really soft palette with beautiful hydrangeas. So this week we're going to make a nice mounded arrangement with lots of layers and lots of texture. If we go into our bucket today and see what we have these white hydrangeas that are super big and fluffy. And we also have these emerald green hydrangea, which bring this super nice bright color into the mix. So we're gonna start by tying together the three large white hydrangea that are going to serve as a base for our arrangement, but we're not gonna cover them entirely. So we are going to take a piece of raffia wire. Now I know last week we used chicken wire mechanics. We do use chicken wire mechanics a lot, but sometimes what we like to do is use the natural radial shape of the laterals coming off of the hydrangea to create a natural grid for us. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put them together sort of in a bouquet format, so they're all in our hand together, and we're gonna tie them together underneath the lateral blooms. So just once around, you can go once around or twice around, and this is just a raffia covered wire. You can also use wax wire, or if you like using floral tape, you can use like a waterproof floral tape as well. And we just turn it, and we're gonna twist this around just like we're tying off a bag of bread. And then we're gonna trim off all that excess so that we just have a nice clean stem here coming down where all three of the stems come together. And we're gonna trim those at an angle, measuring them to the bottom of our container. And trim off any of these little nubs, these little pieces where the leaves were coming off or where other blooms were coming off. So we have nice clean stems going into our vase. And then we're gonna set those in, aiming for that bottom third of the vase so that the hydrangea comes over the edge, sort of like top of a muffin, right? If it touches the bottom of the vase and it wiggles around a lot, we don't want it to be quite that long. We want to take it out and retrim it so that it sits a little bit more firmly. And then we can kind of take these outside pieces out and spread them out so it covers around that entire top of our container. And take off any of the icky blooms or any of the blooms that are kind of sticking out weird that we don't like so, okay? And then we're going to go in with our bright green emerald hydrangea. And we have a couple of these in our bucket as well. So this I'm going to kind of fill in these divots where the other hydrangeas sort of meet each other. And since there are three of those and there's three of these will fit right in between. And these I'm going to go in at a little bit of an angle so it fills in. Again, I want it to just kind of come over the edge of the, move this out of the way. It's going to come over the edge of our container, but we don't want it to fall out, right? So we're putting it in sort of at a 45-degree angle in this direction. There's one more in here. Here we go. And again, with all of these, you want to trim those little nubbies off, and you want to cut them at an angle. Take off any leaves that will go into our vase, and so we keep the water nice and clean, and the entrance into the vase, the opening to the vase, nice and clean, so that's easy to put flowers on top. All right, so we're leaving it kind of loose though, because I don't want to cover the hydrangea. I want the hydrangea to come out and be seen through the flowers. I just want to have this as a background, kind of helps all these other flowers pop. So the other thing we have in our bucket, we have this lemon leaf or salal. I'm going to use just a little bit at first. I don't want to use a ton. I'm going to take it and clean the stems off to the top, maybe 4, maybe 3 leaves. trim it, make sure the stem is nice and clean, and I'm gonna go right in between my hydrangea. Now again, I don't want it to be spilling out, I don't want it to be falling out of the vase, I don't want it to take up too much space. We really are just building more of a foundation so that these other flowers can kind of sit up on top of it. So I'm just taking these little tips of the Salal, I'm just tucking them into my hydrangea, bing bing, so I can just kind of see it all the way around, and it's going to crisscross underneath the hydrangea and just making sort of like a nest or foundation underneath, so that when we get to all of these other flowers that we really want to pop, they'll be held firmly through all of the crisscross stems underneath. I'm not going to use all of my Salal now. I want to hold on to a little bit in case I want to use it at the end. Tuck it through there. Again, I'm not covering my hydrangea, I'm kind of going in between the blooms, so it just sort of mimics the natural foliage of the hydrangea and fills in a little bit, and that's it. Okay, so move this out of the way. The next thing that we're going to put in, I have to check the name of this. These are called Gypsy Rose. They are a type of spray rose, so they have these really cool miniature blooms, and the variety is called Kiwy. So these are sort of a pretty green color, but you can see on the tips that they have this just little bit of pink to them, a little bit warmer shade, and that's going to come in and tie in the other colors in our bucket as well. So we're going to put these guys in first just because they're very bunchy, and if the lateral stems are long enough to use them as individual stems, then you can break those off and use them. But if they're not, then you kind of just have to push all of the blooms together and use those as a cluster. Or edit off the lower stems and then just use those elsewhere in a bud vase or something similar, a little jelly jar in your house. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to get all of these blooms together, I'm going to pop them into my arrangement. I don't want to put them right on top of a green hydrangea because I want them to be able to be seen. So I'm going to put them on top of a white hydrangea, and I'm going to work that hydrangea through the lateral blooms just so that you see all these little guys kind of creating their own movement and their own layering on their stems. Now this one, yeah, this one was long enough to use as its own, so I'm just going to tuck it in, making sure that it goes all the way down to the water, very important. And we want some of these to kind of ride at the level of the hydrangea, and we want some of these to pop out from the hydrangea. So here's another one in here. So again, this one here, probably long enough to use in our arrangement. This one is a little bit too short, save that for later, stick it in another jar, use it in a bud vase. Edit it back to what you want to use, like so, and then tuck that on this side so you can see it on both sides of our arrangement. Okay, so we're getting a really cool layered base going on here where we can see lots of green and white layered through. Tuck this guy in here because I think it's long enough to get into the water, and we are all good. Right, so that's going on. Hold on to these guys. Clean my space as I go. The next thing that we're going to use is a rose, because I like to kind of work from the largest footprint back to the smaller footprint. So we have these really beautiful roses. They almost make like a clover shape in the center, which is really cool. And these are called Exotic Mint, or it's actually Exotix Mint. And with these guys, I'm not gonna get too crazy with them. They are going to continue to open, but just give them a little bit of a blow, a little bit of a roll, kind of get them moving, take off any packing petals, but don't take off too many petals. And then we're going to tuck this guy in here. Again, I'm going to let this go on top of the white hydrangea just so you can see it a little bit more. It doesn't get eaten by the green on green. So we have 3 of these in our bucket. Trim those. 1, 2, 3. I'm just working in a triangle here. So I got 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to do, put it this way, our other rose, which is really cool. And also it's a green hued rose called Pistachio. However, this one has more of a green on its packing petals back here. Then you can see it also has this really pretty pink color and this warm shade on its interior. Again, similar to our spray roses, gonna pull in some of these peachier colors that we're using later. So these guys, I'm gonna take off the 2 packing petals. I don't wanna get crazy with it because if you start picking off all the packing petals, you lose all of that pretty green color. So just let the rose kind of be as it is and only take off the 2 outermost petals. You can still see all of that pretty color going on. So I'm gonna go in between. I have 4 of these. So I'm gonna go in between my in between my Exotic Mint roses with these guys. And then I'll do one sort of centrally placed. I'll tuck in that like so. And then this guy, I'm gonna go right in the middle, like so. Okay. So kind of, you see it all the way through the arrangement. See? Like that. Tuck that down that way. Over here. All right, perfect. Okay, then we are going to use, we have this lovely white Campanula. Some people say Campanula. I say Campanula. There's probably a right way. But we're going to break this into a couple of pieces though, since it is so super long. I mean, we could use it as a whole thing, and maybe if you wanted to get a lot of spread, or if you're using this for like a larger asymmetrical piece, using this as a full stem is great, has a lot of shape and movement. But I'm going to cut it kind of more so in half so that I can get 2 placements out of each. So I'm just going to edit off the lower one because I don't want anything to go into the water that's going to impede further blooms from going in. So I'm going to put one there. I'm going to take my bottom piece here. I'm going to put this off on the other side. And this, once you get in with this, you just want to kind of like layer it through so that you see it kind of sticking out from your roses, but not crazy wild. You just want to see a little bit of layering and a little bit of texture going on. Like last week, we did lots of movement. This week, we're going for more of a lush, overlapping, full-looking arrangement. So take this and place it here. And we just want to see the blooms all the way through our arrangement. So don't concentrate them necessarily on one side, unless you're going to eventually position this somewhere where it's going to be seen from one side, in which case you want to use your blooms in the best manner that they will be seen. And this side over here. Oops. Okay. All right, so you can kind of see those guys all the way around. Actually, this one needs to come out over here a little bit. There we go. All right, so now we see that all the way around. Very cool. Next, I'm going to do my tulips. This is a really beautiful bicolor tulip that we have in. It's a double petal also. So it really fills in, and I'm going to trim it. I'm going to take this bottom leaf off. I'm going to leave these guys on because they're still nice and pretty. They're undamaged, and they bring a nice color and movement to the arrangement. So I'm going to tuck those in. 3 of these, and they'll continue to grow in the arrangement as well. So you just want to keep that in mind when you're using them, that you don't want them to be too sticking out because they will just continue to grow and grow and grow. And then, as the arrangement sort of shifts and moves over time, you can go back in and trim those down a little bit so that they stay at a place where you like them in the arrangement, and they will kind of grow towards the sun and move around. It's a really lovely feature of them. Next, I'm going to do my Ranunculus, and these are salmon Ranunculus. Again, I'm just going to give them a trim. I'm going to pop them into my arrangement, and I'm not going to do them super duper long because I'm going for a slightly more mounded look, but I am going to use all of the bits that come on it to get lots of movement in my arrangement. We have 5 of these. These are one of my favorites, and they will also continue to open in your arrangement. So it's really nice to watch. They'll kind of fill in as they go, and they open up. They show a little bit more of like a yellow color in the center that goes really pretty with the pistachio roses. So I'll tuck this guy in here, and you have a couple of them winging out if you want, just to kind of match the level of the tulip or match the level of the Campanula, or even to get a little bit more height in the middle if that's what you're looking for your arrangement. So tuck that in like so. You can see that all the way through, which is great. And then lastly, we have this really pretty white Veronica that I love. This is one of my favorite warm weather flowers. And these guys, again, I'm going to kind of go in between my Campanula and tuck them in so you can see their color, you can see their shape. They're not sticking out crazy. It's really just complementing the movement of the rest of the flowers and bringing in this really pretty, where it has pollen, it has a little bit of yellow to it. So it really goes well color-wise with all of the rest of the blooms that we're using in our bucket to create this really soft but warm palette. So I'm gonna tuck this guy in here, and remember to keep turning your arrangement as you go. Very important, so you don't end up with one side that looks a little goofy, especially if you're trying to use this as a centerpiece or on a coffee table where it's going to be seen all the way around. So that 1, 2, 3, 5, and I need one coming out over here. I like to leave these little guys on too because I think they're really pretty. And then once we have all of our flowers into our arrangement, then we just have to go back and edit, push some things in, pull some things out where they need to go. And then at this point, if you want to come back in with your Salal, the additional, you can come in and either give it a little bit of spill around the bottom if you feel like it needs that, or what I like to do sometimes is just like separate some of the blooms. If everything seems like it's right on top of each other and you need to create a little bit of separation, coming in with just like a couple of Salal tips is a really good way to create like a background. So if you have two green flowers on top of each other, it creates a little bit of a separation so you can see them both a little bit better. I'm gonna tuck this guy in here into the light. Okay, there we go. I don't like when these things stick out like ears, right? So it's like I want them to be integrated in the arrangement. And worst case scenario, if you know the leaves are too big to use, just edit them off. You know, pull off the ones that are crazy looking, and just use the ones that work in your arrangement. Or, you know, if you're not a fan of the foliage, which is totally fine, you could do this entire arrangement without using any of it. You could just use the flowers and the hydrangea. So I'm just gonna go back through again and like tuck everything in how I want it and pull the focal flowers all on top. And I think this is my last piece of Salal, so I might tuck one more in over here. And I think we're pretty good. So I'm gonna scoop my bucket out of the way and move these guys out of the way. Got one more little guy here with a little bud. I love to use all the buds and things. Okay, there we go. Scooping this over so you can kind of see what we're working with here. You know, and as you're turning it, you're looking at it, it's like, oh, maybe something's coming out at like an angle that you don't like. You can go back and put that in at an angle that makes sense. In this plant, there's so many stems underneath that'll hold the blooms where you want them to go. So just make sure everybody has their own space. Nobody's laying on somebody else. Everybody has room to open and move in the arrangement, and that you like where the flowers or the colors are landing in the arrangement. And you have this really great, pretty simple ingredients, very impactful, very textured arrangement that, again, perfect for seasonal centerpiece, for coffee table, for a gift even. So there we go right there. Perfect. Now, if you like these videos, if you love to design flowers, if you're in our area and you're getting these buckets also, please tune in. We try to do this every week, every other week, typically, depending on, you know, if we have buckets going out, or if you just want a little bit of floral inspiration, or you like to see all the varieties that we have going on, all the different stuff coming in, the seasonal blooms, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, like this video, or mark this video, come back and check out all the varieties. We always try to list off all of the things that are in here. So if you are trying to replicate something, or if you see something you really love color-wise for a wedding or a party that you might be planning, then yeah, you can reference these videos for all of these types of flowers in here as well. So keep that in mind as well. And then here we go. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you're out there designing in this beautiful hot weather here in Maryland. And until next week, happy designing.